Jim, another question here from the Cult of Cornette. This was sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Kristen O. My husband mentioned to me that the man who used to live across the street from him when he was a child passed away several years ago. And he had heard...
Has she just heard about it now?
And he had heard that the guy used to be a wrestler in the Nashville Territory days.
Uh-oh. One of these stories, huh?
According to my husband, as well as several of the comments left on the man's online obituary, the man's name was Tommy Reynolds, and he wrestled as the Midnight Angel. Based on the fact he was born in 1947...
Oh boy.
I guess he would have been wrestling anywhere from about the late 60s to the mid or late 80s. However, I can't find any information on him or any evidence of him
any evidence whatsoever
or any evidence of him wrestling in Nashville shows during that time period. I know he must have done at least a little bit since I'm seeing other people post about their memories of him, but I can't find anything to prove it. Jim, I figured if anyone would know anything about the Midnight Angel or a Tommy Reynolds wrestling in or around Nashville, it would be you. Please let me know if you know or can find out anything.
Well,
what do you know and what can you find out?
Well, I can't find out anything. And I know enough to know we don't need to call Scott Teal as an expert on Nashville wrestling, for there was no Midnight Angel. If this guy was born in 1947, he would have been wrestling by the early to mid 70s at least, and all Nashville cards, I've seen them. I was watching the televisions. They've been documented in various publications. Tommy Reynolds or Tommy Runnels? How was that spelled?
Tommy Reynolds, Reynolds.
Yeah, no. No.
Now, when you say you're familiar with who worked those shows in Nashville during those years, beyond Goulas and Jarrett, were there outlaw shows in Nashville proper during those years?
There were outlaw shows that came and went, and like in the suburbs or whatever. I mean, my God, did he wrestle on a show that his friends put on in a barn 3 times that there was never any newspaper ad? Yeah, but no, not with any recognized professional organization in Nashville was there a Midnight Angel, and I've never heard the other name. And you hear these stories all the time. Remember the fake Stan Lane? And I can't tell you how many people over 20 years I've had come into the house to work on the air conditioning and see some of my posters. Oh yeah, I used to live across the street from the original Mass Spoiler. Because they just, these people tell other people that can't find out the difference that they were pro wrestlers, and they were always masked, which avoids them having to come up with that pesky fucking photograph of themselves actually wrestling. So I'm pretty sure that this is horseshit, but that's just me.
Do you feel like maybe you inspired this man, the Midnight Angel? Would that have been a good name for a masked babyface sidekick for the Midnight Express?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what other gimmick he was combining with the... Was his favorite job guy Tommy Angel? What... Was there a Midnight Devil that he was sent to Earth to fight and oppose? What? I don't get the gimmick.
What was Tommy Angel's real name?
Oh, good Lord.
It wasn't Tommy Reynolds.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, just double checking.
I used to know it at one point. Now I can't. Well, I don't know if he'd want me to say it on the air anyway.
Hey, where did Lee Scott come from?
He was one of the Northern Alabama guys, as I recall.
Because when he showed up, there was a brief period he was there. He took the most hellacious bumps anyone had taken on TBS ever.
Yes, that's why that we booked him on TV every chance we could, because he could take a bigger backdropper of fucking, a bigger anything. Especially with all the Road Warriors and the Samoans and all the guys, we had to boost him.
Where was the first time you saw that Chris Hamrick bump? The one that he did on Raw like twice, and both times the audience was blown away, where I don't even know how to explain. He goes for a drop kick of some sort, but he just
No. Hold on. He's hitting the ropes. And by the way, I saw it the first time he did it on Raw. I was like, what the fuck did you mean to do that? Oh, yeah. But as he's coming off the ropes, the babyface sidesteps him and leg sweeps him with the babyface's right leg to where it like he swept both of his feet out from under Chris, and Chris jumps up and goes feet first through the second and third rope straight to the floor without touching anything. And I was like, God damn it. He said, yeah, I can do it whenever I want to. I said, that's good. That's good. I like Chris Hamrick. He was a heck of a worker, but I didn't see a lot of people talked about that bump, but I didn't see the upside in it.
No, but you remember it. It stood out. And
yeah, but you generally remember the major car crash that leaves you in a goddamn wheelchair and an iron lung. Can you be in a wheelchair and an iron lung at the same time?
I don't know. You're the iron lung expert here.
Well, I'm wondering if they'd be able to just kind of put your upper body in the iron lung and then slide the chair in under your ass and have your legs kind of sticking up in the air.